Hello, Dr. Ebuka. Thank you for taking time to review Quick Insight. Quick Insight is an AI-powered analyticals platform that I have been independently developing to make business analytics accessible to non-technical users and business owners. My, sm- I mean, many small business owners and organizations have data but lack the technical expertise required to use SQL, Tableau, Power BI, or other analytics tools effectively. Quick Insight addresses this problem by allowing users to ask business questions in plain English and automatically generate analytical insights, dashboards, able to create reports on the fly and quickly. Today, I will demonstrate how Quick Insight supports common analytical workflows used by businesses and consultants. Now, I will begin by uploading a dataset that is stored locally on my PC. Um, it is a retail dataset. Once I uploaded, Quick Insight automatically profiles the dataset, identifies dimensions, metrics, dates, and business entities, and prepares the data for analysis. The goal here is to eliminate manual data modeling and reduce the technical barrier for non-technical business users. So as we can see, it has profiled the data that I've uploaded, and it has gone through each column that is present in the dataset that I've uploaded, and it is neatly segregated and classified each column to its respective data type. So basically, order ID is classified as ID, and so on. Postal code is a dimension. Order date is classified as date, and this is all happening with a dedicated engine that I've designed behind the scenes. So the semantic inference engine, which does all of this job, and it clearly identifies sales as a metric, and a default is a sum on it, a default aggregation, and so on. And all we have to do is click apply and continue because the confidence is high. Now, before it got to the AI pipeline, before it got to the profiling, there was few ETL steps that has been done on the dataset to ensure the quality of data remains good enough for the for further analytics. And this is what we are seeing now. This is the ETL page where it will log each step that has been performed on the data set that we have uploaded. It shows the rows in and the rows out and the columns that present in the data set. And the cleaning report says 100 by 100, which means the cleaning has been successful. 100%. The data is now ready to be used for further analysis, and users can actually see what are the applied steps, what are the skipped steps, what are the flagged ones, and so on. This is basically the workspace for people to look more deeply into what ETL steps has been applied on the uploaded data set. Um, there is an interesting point here is an anchor date that I have created, where because the uploaded data has its own starting point, it cannot take today into the context of the analysis. So that is going to create a problem. That is why I created an anchor date where once the data is uploaded, the application will take the max of the date, and then that is going to be the earliest date that is available on the uploaded data set. It is automatically going to take from the data set that has been supplied to the application. Now we will come to the real now we have done the ETL, we have done the profiling properly. These two are the biggest things where it ensures the data quality, and these two processes ensure that the analysis process and also the further visualizations and the numbers, right? The numbers represent correctly. Whatever the raw data shows, the same are shown in the reports properly. So these there were a lot of emphasis that has been done on when designing these two engines. One is semantic inference engine, and another one is ETL pipeline engine. Now let's quickly jump into the question builder. Now question builder is an intuitive way of asking questions to your data set, whatever the data you have uploaded. So basically, it's a simple to use interface where you will ask questions, build your own questions using parameterized options. So let's say I want to do some basic analysis. Let's say we want to know total sales ship mode wise total sales. So all we have to do is show me. We already have sales selected here. We have another few more metrics that are available in the dataset that we uploaded, but for the sake of this question we are selecting sales, and that is total, not average, highest, lowest, because we want to see total sales by ship mode. And all I have to do is just select few simple options, and there is a query that has been created, and that query is run against the dataset that is locally stored on a indexed DB, uses DuckDB as well. So this query has been run on the DuckDB, and the result is being sent to the visualization engine, and the visualization engine automatically creates appropriate chat type, and you can clearly see the visual has been generated within seconds. And this is the power that I wanted to give every non-technical user who wants to explore and exploit data analytics, but has always been on the back foot because they don't understand that they have there is a huge learning curve for Tableau, Power BI, SQL. So I wanted business owners, and especially for the people who are data analysts as well, rather than writing SQL, rather than writing rather than writing Python and doing exploratory data analysis, although that is better, but to get a good insight at first, to get a first glance of the data what they are dealing with, they can upload the data into the quick insight and then get a pretext of what exactly the data looks like, what is the shape and size of it, and how the columns are distributed, how the data is distributed, and do some hypothesis testing, so that they can move forward with informed decisions to build Power BI dashboards or Tableau dashboards. That is one way of using this tool. And the other way of using this tool is for the non-technical business users, where they can quickly get insights out of it. Now we have done some basic analytics now. Let's see some comparative analysis, because most of the time in operational analytics setup, we do comparison and analysis, let's say year over year growth, month over month growth. So growth analysis is a key part of the operations analytics, right? So let's click on reset, and I'm gonna see my sales for the last 7 days, right? All I have to do is just click on in time anything option, and then select last n, and then you can give whatever the days you want to look at the sales for. So I'm currently seeing 7 days sales, which starts from, let's say, um, I'm selecting day as my grain on the time grain. So I'm seeing from December 25th to December 30. These are the 7 days sales that I have. But now I want to do a comparison of what were the sales last 7 days compared to this 7 days, current 7 days. So all I have to do is just click on options, and then on the compare option, I have to select same period last n, and rather than day, I will select week. Same period last week, the sales were this, and you can clearly see that December 23rd and versus December 16th sales, current period and previous period, and their growth as well has been neatly created. And I don't have to write SQL for it. I don't have to write a complex Python code. All I have to do is select few options, and instantly I'll get the insights out of the dataset that I've uploaded. And all I have to do is just click on pin, and then I already have created a sales dashboard. So I'm going to stick with that, or let's say I'm going to pin my current visual to the sales dashboard, pin to dashboard, and now this visual has been pinned to. Uh, Now that visual has been pinned to the dashboard. Now I can access this visual anytime I want, and go back to the dashboard page and present it to any higher official managers or CEOs. or anyone in the organization, uh, for the better transparency and insights. Now, this is a comparative analysis. I mean, basically, this is what question builder does. Um, so, quick insight: understand the analytical intent, identifies the product dimensions and sales metrics, generates the required SQL query, executes it, and automatically creates a visual. Um, now let's see another option feature, I would say, is AI SQL. Basically, what it does is it takes a question in plain English, and then before it gives that question to the AI LLM, it directly first, there is an engine that runs behind it. There is a query planner, there is an intent planner, and then first the intent planner creates a plan and gets what is, I mean, tries to figure out, identify what are the columns used in the question, and what is the intent of the customer. Is it a growth that he is looking for, or is it thinking on? Let me take comparative analysis again. So compare the last 7 days sales to the previous 7 days sales. Sorry, to current 7 days. All I have to do is just type a question and then generate. It quickly generates a visual. It gives you the current period sales and the previous period sales, that is current week and the last week. And it also gives you the growth percentage uh, without you writing any formulas. And it also gives you the underlying formula, underlying syntax, SQL syntax. You can run it on any of the RDBMS softwares, and it's going to give you the same output. And it also generates a table, so that you can export this table to Excel and stuff like that. Um, so basically, this is ease of usage feature for someone who is not much familiar with the question builder and who wants to directly get answers faster rather than building their own questions. And let's try another one. One of the key capabilities of this application is also that it is able to do window functions. It is able to execute table calculations as well, such as percent of total, percent difference from, and let's say ranking functions and stuff like that. So let me do one more question on AI SQL. So I'm trying to get category contributions as percentage of total sales. So the question is, show category contribution as a percent of total. Um, so I click on send. So it immediately creates a donut chart with a distribution, and it shows the percentage of the sales that has been driven by each category in the uploaded data set. We can also pin this to the visual, I mean, this visual to the dashboard that we have created. Now, all I have to do is to present this to senior executives. All I have to do is just go to the dashboard, and my pinned visuals are here, and I just click on present, and I can easily present my insights from the data. So this is a percentage of total visual, and this is a sales comparison. Let's rename it to sales comparison week over week. And this is percentage of total that we have created using the AI SQL. So basically, it handles basic analytics to most of the diagnostic and descriptive analytics. This tool is very useful for someone who is looking to get the insights quickly without writing queries, without writing Python code, and basically just the ease of usage purposes, and for the small businesses to leverage the power of data analytics. And before I conclude this, I would like to show the basic architecture of how exactly the query runs in an AI SQL. and from the starting of the question, from typing question to getting the insight out of it, right? I would like to show you that as well. um, So basically, the workflow consists of the intent planner, which identifies the analytical goal of the user once they input a question into the AI skill. And then there is a query planner that constructs a structured analytical plan. And then comes the semantic KPI layer, ensures business metrics are interpreted consistently. And the AI SQL generator creates executable queries. There is a validation engine that verifies correctness of the query that is generated by ASQL and the real reliability of it. And then DuckDB performs browser native analytical execution of the generated query. And finally, Quick Insight generates visualizations which can be pinned to dashboards, and you can also do monitoring on the insight that were generated. And this architecture, specific architecture, was designed to improve analytical consistency, reliability, and accessibility for non-technical users, as well as data analysts who wants to do an hypothesis testing on their data set, and also for managers or consultants who wants to do their own analytics before they present something to the higher management. And thank you. This concludes my presentation of the Quick Insight, and thank you very much for your time to review Quick Insight. I hope this gives you a window of how Quick Insight works in real setups. Thank you very much, Dr. Rebuka, for giving this opportunity. Thank you.